Hi everyone. So I wanted to make a video about the question, should I go to art school or not? I get this question a lot, and I myself was also in that position. So I wanted to give an answer about that while I'm drawing. So I'm going to paint this beaver, and meanwhile I'll be talking about the subject. And I'm painting this beaver for a tutorial. And for the future lesson on Patreon or in my future book. So let's start with that. Yeah, should I go to art school or not? And that's really a personal question. I think everyone does have a different uh, need for that. But yeah, let me start with talking about why I think it's good to join an art school. And after that, I will tell why it's not good to join an art school. So, school is great for social connections. If you're on an art school, you meet a lot of different other students, and you learn a lot about working together, and you're making new friends. So it's great for making social connections. And all those students will also go work at animation studios or game companies, and maybe they can give you a job, or also they can give you feedback and help you out. And it's just great to have friends in the same field. And of course, not all, and it's depending where you live. So it depends a bit on the art school how it is, but you can find it out. Are there a lot of students on yeah that are in the industry and so on? So yeah, it's a great place to make friends and to learn new people from that industry. And if you're working from home, you don't really, um, yeah, you don't really have that. Yeah, you now have the internet, so that's great. So, but it's also, yeah, really useful to learn some people um, that are, yeah, that you know in real life. So you should consider that. I think that's one of the biggest pluses of going to an art school. And one other point is you can get internships from school, and of course you can get internships if you're um, yeah studying from home on your own. But at a lot of places you don't. I think the companies where I worked, it was you could get an internship, but you had to go to a school. So if you go to school, there's a bigger chance of getting an internship. And I think on those internships you can learn way more than on school, because you get an actual you get to experience how it is to work as an artist. And a third point I think is really important is you get time to grow. And that for me was a reason to go to art school, um, or at least my first school as well. So first, I started studying something completely different, and that was laboratorium technology. So biology and those kind of things. And I think I was 18 years old. And but besides my job there, or my school there, I also did a lot of internet. I did a lot of graphical design, and I made illustrations. And internet started getting bigger and bigger. I think it was 2006, 2007. And there was was a game of no, it was not a game company. It was an advertisement agency. So they made the websites. They made a European website for Nintendo back then, and some action, some also site about Zelda and stuff like that. So really creative, game focused, advertisement. And they liked that I also did illustration and I could draw characters. So they wanted me to join them so I could draw mascots for them and stuff like that. And I was really young, so I think I could grow inside the company, and it's also beneficial for them. Um, so yeah, and then I got the job there, but I decided that I was still young, and also because of my parents wanted me to do some education. So I quit my school and I went to a media technology education, so graphic design and stuff like that. And you learned a bit of everything else, a bit about games and stuff like that. So I joined that school and I went part-time working at the game company. And yeah, that went well, and I learned a lot about working in a company. And I found that's really hard, but that's a different subject. Although um, the the job I had there, I really liked it, and they were really nice people. But I still had to learn a lot socially. So I think I wasn't ready to start working full time yet. So, and on school's a great place to learn social skills. So that was really I think that was also one of the reasons why I did go to an art school, because I don't think I needed to, because I already could get a job, but I was really shy and stuff like that. And so I went to the school, and they didn't really teach the art, but because of that I got an internship at an animation studio, and that's where I started thinking about going into animation industry, and trying to go for a more um, a job about um, sometimes it's really hard to draw and talk at the same time. So sorry if I'm sometimes a bit losing what I'm telling, because I'm also thinking. So yeah, what was I wanted to say? So I started to get that internship at a place. So yeah, and first that place wanted to hire me, um, but I ended up there as an internship, and I think that's also great, because then that also relieves a bit of the pressure, because you're just an intern. And I really learned a lot on that internship, and I think that was so. For me, it was really good to go to school, and even if I already could get work, because I already could get work, but because I got to school, I could started uh, yeah started to focus more on an animation career and go for that. So you can really set your goals really high if you going to school, because you still don't have that much to lose. But let's go on some of the points why you shouldn't go to an art school. It's really expensive, and I think this really changing a lot. So I'm living in the Netherlands, and the school system here is quite okay, especially when I was going to school. So the biggest part of my education got funded by the government, and I had to borrow some money. But if I hear what some people outside of the Netherlands have to borrow to make it happen, it's insane. If you hear what you need to pay in the United States to go to an art school, that's I don't know if it's worth the cost. If you yeah, you're out of art school and you have such high debts. That's just insane. And also because as an artist, you can earn a good living as an artist, but a lot of artists, yeah, they make decent living, but not enough to pay up hundred thousands of dollars. And so yeah, think about that. How much can you pay? And is the government paying for you, or is there a good system where you can borrow money through an interesting rate? Or do you have parents that can help you out? Ask yourself that, because yeah, you yeah, watch out with getting into debt. Um, and I have some debt, but yeah, I think in a couple of years I paid that all off, because it's not that crazy high in the Netherlands. You can learn online or books. So I did go to two different schools for learning art. And but basically everything I learned about art, I learned online from online sources and from books. So to be honest, I yeah, art-wise, I didn't learn that much on school. I learned way more from home, and that's also what I'm doing now. So I started my Patreon to teach people, and making these online tutorials, and also mainly because um, yeah, I wanted those resources when I was young. I wish I had, especially when I was in high school. You had some online tutorials, but I only could find anime tutorials, and I liked anime, and I watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. But let me see how this is going. And I liked anime, but yeah, there were not that many tutorials about cartoon art that I'm doing now. So now now there are more and more tutorials. So I think the best education you can get online. And of course, there are some exceptions. I think if you're living in the USA, and you have a lot of money, you can get some great education there. And I think there are also some really great schools in Canada. I think Paris also has some great schools, but those are expensive or hard to get in. Um, so yeah, it's I think you can learn it all from home, but I will talk a bit more about it later. Uh, so I'm here now drawing this beer, and I think I will just keep it really rough, because it's hard drawing and talking at the same time, especially about two different subjects. Normally, I make online video and then I talk about what I'm doing, and that works really well. But talking about random subjects and painting, it's yeah, quite hard. So yeah, so I can tell a bit more about my story. Um, so when I was on high school, I really like to draw a lot, but I was always thinking, oh, I can't make a living of it. And I liked biology, so I went to a biology education. So that was, yeah, that it wasn't a bad decision. I think it was a fun education, but I missed something, and I was still drawing. So I ended up at of an advertisement company, and there I started to think more about getting a job as an yeah, as an maybe for games or something. So there I started yeah, getting into that. And so let me look at these eyes here. They're a bit, I want to make them a bit more tidy. So yeah, I ended up at an first one school, and then I finished my first art school, and then I think I was 19 or yeah, I was 20. So I finished the first art school, and then I had to make a decision: will I go to the next art school or will I start working? So I got a job at a game company. It was a really small game company, and I got a chance to work to study at a school in the north of the Netherlands, and it was really cheap to live there. So I choose to I choose to go there, and because it was cheap to live there, and I could work on my art and stuff like that. So I knew that school. It wasn't a great art school, but the school was a great place to. I had some friends living there, and I could live on my own. And so do I like this? No, I don't really like. Let's make an highlight. So it was just a school that was really suitable to to start learning myself, because you got a lot of freedom at that school, and I got a monthly fee for studying outside, so it was great. And I just gave myself some time to develop my art skills, and that really helped me in the end. And I did some more internships and stuff like that, and I just had a cool time. And that's also a thing. You're going to work the rest of your life, so it's nice to get some time that you're just going to school and it's relaxing, and have fun and learn art, make friends. So that's also something worth. It's not all about work. And but yeah, it's all different in each situation. Do you have the money to study? Um, and if you don't, maybe then it's better to study from home. And maybe mine tutorials help, or different tutorials. Like I learned a lot from Schoolism, or maybe you can find some books about art. And if you do have the money, yeah, why not? And if you're young, I think that's also important. So if you're young and also want to have that school experience, then yeah, I would advise go for it. So I'm just drawing a bit, and so like this. I don't actually don't really like it, but I'm going to change it when I'm done talking. So what else can I say about school? A good thing is, can you motivate yourself to start drawing? So if you have a hard time to be motivated, school can be really great to learn some discipline and stuff like that. And because they give you assignments, you need to do internships. They maybe give you a bit of structure and stuff like that. So school can really help you with that, to get some more structure in your life. So I think that helps a lot as well. So ask yourself that. Do you need that structure, or are you so disciplined that you can pick your own personal projects and that you can start, that you know what to do yourself? You can find your own stuff on the internet, um, and so on. So maybe it's fun to show a bit how I would draw hair, and I don't have to think much about it, so I can just do it. So now just going to draw in some textures. And if you want to see the whole tutorial, check my Instagram later, and then you can see the whole the finished drawings with the tutorial slides. So now drawing through the shapes. So if you're not going to art school, having personal projects is really great. So you can just create your own animation stories. Like maybe you're going to use this beaver for your own personal story, and think about the story about this beaver. How would his house look? And yeah, so you can, and I think that those are great portfolio projects. But if you have a hard time creating your own stories and your own projects, and you need help with motivation, then school can be really helpful to get that going. So yeah, also ask yourself, are you a social person, or do you need to grow that as well? So maybe you already have a nice life and you have friends where you live, and stuff like that. And then I think then you can just, yeah, you can also work from home, and so on. Yeah, but a lot of points are depending if art school is good for you. Can you become an artist without art school? Definitely. Nobody is going to ask for your degree. Can it be helpful to go to art school? Definitely. It helped me a lot. I didn't learn any art stuff, but I learned to make friends. I learned to present myself. I learned to go to internships. And it's easier when you're failing on school. So, yeah, that's totally fine. So, yeah, let me know in the post if you are a student, or maybe you want to go to a school, and let me know if you have any questions, so we can talk about how is it in your country. Are there some good opportunities for schools, or are you doubting? Let me know, so maybe I can help you think, or you can help some other people. So that's it, and I will, yeah, keep continuing drawing this beaver. And I I noticed that when I was doing this, sometimes I have a bit hard time to talk and draw. So I don't know if that's uh, maybe because this is the first time I'm doing it like this. So I'm going to keep working on that. And yeah, maybe next time that will go a little bit better. But because I like the idea of talking about some arts related stuff, and drawing. So maybe I will do that more in live videos, or something. I don't know yet. But also, let me know if you also liked it, or have some ideas. So there's still a lot of work to be done on this beaver, but maybe you've seen some of the steps. So let me know if you have any questions about going to art school in the comments, and maybe we can talk a bit more about it in the comments. So thanks for watching, and I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you next time. And thanks. And oh yeah, before I leave, I want to tell something yet. So you can, so I have my Patreon page. So if you want to see more online videos about how to draw with tutorials, you can join my Patreon. And if you join this month, you get this free ebook with it. So yeah, you need to check the site for the terms. So it's that you join this month before 1 August and you stay a Patreon until you get it. So you pay the first term of the Patreon. And then you get this book free with the subscription. And so yeah, there I give weekly 1 hour lessons, and I give also feedback on people's work. So check that out if you're interested. And I also sell my ebooks on Gumroad. So my link is in the bio of Instagram, and there you can check one of my books. The newest is the anatomy book, and also some different books. And I also just added a video to the drawing tips book, the anatomy book, and the figure drawing. So those are 1 hour's video attached to the ebook. So it could be interesting if you want to learn some more about drawing and how I work. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.